on, everybody? Welcome back. We're going to be talking about the Nightfall era battle. I put out a video last night kind of going through it and my strategy of everything, and I got quite a lot of feedback from people in that they're frustrated with this event, and I can't blame them. A lot of people are unhappy with this event. It has not been very popular, the way they've tuned things, the way it's pretty much impossible right now because we only have one Dark Cyclone Trooper. It doesn't feel great. And side note, we're going to be using that phrase a lot in this video. So if you hate that phrase, I apologize ahead of time. There's going to be a lot of stuff that does not feel great or feels bad about this event. So what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to basically talk about what's not great about this, some kind of good stuff, like one surprise I woke up to this morning when I checked my phone. Apologies for that. I'm sitting right next to a clock while I'm here on vacation, and it likes to go off every now and then. But basically, yeah, what's the couple of good things, the stuff that feels really bad, and why this event is so unpopular. We're going to break that all down in today's video, along with some ways I would like CG to improve this event for the future. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into it. So let's start by talking about a surprise that I woke up to this morning. Apparently, this era battle was tied to daily reset. So when I woke up this morning, I could do tiers 1 and 2 again. And the rewards for these tiers are great, even if I have Apo fully unlocked like I do. I have them at Relic 5. But getting another 12 Omega materials, another 3 million in credits, that's great. I love that. I don't know if this is intentional or not. I do not expect this to be a thing. I expect them to fix this in the future because I don't think that was intentional. If it is intentional, fantastic. That's great, CG. I love that. Even more shards we can get through the era battles. But yeah, beyond the good rewards and the fact that we had a reset on territory battle or on the daily reset with era battles, that's about the only good things I can think of for this event. I hated running this event. So I have a Relic 5 Apo, and I ran through tier 3 for like an hour or two. I tried again after my recording yesterday, and I cannot get to it. The Jocasta new that you get on tier 3, as soon as she pulls out her rifle, it's you're praying to RNGesus that you get things to go your way, and that does not seem to be a thing. So yeah, what I want to talk about here with my Apo and what I saw from people as well is I had a couple people not get the Zeta on Vader's Fist and did clears tier 1 and 2 with it, but tier 3 you really do need that Zeta, which is fine because this is a Zeta that's going to be very helpful anyways. You get the Coruscant Commander, which prevents Apo from being defeated. He also gets 3 stacks of Operation Nightfall. You get the dramatic entrance with your team. Like, that's big. Like, that Zeta is incredibly important for this Lord Vader team. Also, I did run a set of potency on him, and I was getting reliable stuns. Not all the time, but I was getting them pretty reliably. I've also seen people run 3 sets of potency. I've also seen some people run speed sets on him. But the big thing that's coming down to right now, why this event's frustrating, is number 1, the RNG, number 2, the way this is tuned, and number 3, the Lord Vader that we get. So I want to start with talking about the Lord Vader. I personally don't have Lord Vader, but for people who have like a Relic 9 Lord Vader, the fact they cannot use their own Lord Vader for this event feels bad. There it is. There's that saying again. But yeah, it's frustrating. Like, I appreciate that they give me one, but I don't see any reason why players cannot use their own Lord Vader for this event. Maybe it's an issue with coding, or maybe No, it's definitely not an issue with coding. We should be able to borrow it, but I feel like it feels like there's something here where they just kind of threw this all together real quickly and just kind of rushed it out the door. And that, I think, is kind of leading to some frustration too, is these events aren't exactly high quality. We just have highly overtuned enemies we have to fight through that can just one-shot our characters through some really BS mechanics. Yeah, it's frustrating. But the Lord Vader we get here, if you don't have Lord Vader, it's great to give you one, but there should be no reason why we can't use our own Lord Vader if we have him unlocked. If we have a Relic 9 Lord Vader, let us use it. Also, why does the Lord Vader not have his ultimate? This is really frustrating as well, because we're getting an intentionally gimped Lord Vader that can't use his ultimate. There's no mods on this guy. It's basically a base stats Lord Vader. So we're running a gimped Lord Vader on our own that we can't even replace with our own Lord Vader. I think for the very least, he needs his ultimate. The ultimate should be here. I don't see any reason why even the Bard Lord Vader cannot have his ultimate. It really frustrating. One other thing too, Unshackled Emotions. I didn't use this a lot in my runs originally, but one thing to point out is that dark side allies gain stacking mastery with this. This is probably going to be much more helpful. That gives the extra damage to Apo. So you may want to use Unshackled Emotion whenever it's off cooldown, just so you can get that stacking mastery on your team. But yeah, we need to be able to either get a Lord Vader borrowed that has the ultimate, or just let us use our own Lord Vader. Number 2, the way this has rolled out and the way this is tuned. We knew ahead of time from the data mines that this was tuned for a full team of clone troopers. It's really frustrating for me, at least, and I think for other players, to have this battle that we're fighting against that requires a full team of clone troopers when we do not have them in the game. We only know the kit of one other with CX2, who I think is going to make this much more manageable, but we don't even have the kits for the full team of clone troopers, and we're expected to beat these tiers of these battles with characters we cannot get to. We literally do not have the ability to get these clone troopers. And I think this is a big problem in that it's tuned for a team we just can't have. And so my solution for this is one of 2 ways. Number 1, and I think this is going to be the more difficult one for CG and probably a little too much time consuming, is they retroactively tune these based on how many clones we have access to. So make this much more manageable with 1 clone trooper, and then as we get CX2 and Disguise and Scorch, we up the difficulty, so finally we get to the intended level of difficulty with this era battle. That one I think is probably going to be a little too much work on the hands of CG, and I doubt they will go for that. So my other option for this is that we push back how when these era battles come out. So if you look at the schedule of era battles, we get the first one after we get the first clone trooper, and we're going to get the same thing with Jedi Temple Guard, and I don't know how that one's going to be tuned either. That one scares me even more, because are they going to give us? Like, are they going to give us some crappy like Jedi Vanguard that we borrow? Because I doubt we're going to have Mace Windu in the game by then. We're probably going to see Mace Windu show up about the time we get Def up. So I don't think. Oh god, are they gonna give us like I'm a gun die lead for this? God, could you imagine if we had an I'm a gun die lead for that? That's terrible. I shouldn't have even said that, because now CG's gonna be like, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's bring in that I'm a gun die lead for this. No, seriously, what I think they need to do is they start pushing these back. So give us a couple more opportunities to get more clones and implement these later. So my suggestion with this would be give us the era battles once we get Disguised Clone Trooper. That's 3 out of the 4 dark side clones. We keep the level of difficulty we have now, but it's going to be much more manageable. And then it's going to be challenging. Like, if you have 3 of the 4 and you take them up to relic 9, it's probably still going to be tough. But you know what? If you play it correctly, you mod them correctly, and you go into with some strategy, you will probably be able to complete tier 6 at that point. So it's a challenge, and it's probably going to be much more manageable once we have all 4, but now you give them the opportunity, because right now, we're not going to be able to complete those. Tier 4 is pretty much impossible with a Relic 9 Apo. This event's just tuned it's just overtuned for what we have on hand, and that's, again, here's the phrase, it feels bad. This is, I think, the best way to handle this would be pushing things back, so that we get at tier 4, that's when we get our, once we get that 3rd clone trooper with Disguised Clone Trooper, that I think would be the ideal time to start rolling out these era battles. But also, the fact that we're only going to get pretty much 12 iterations of this, and we may get it back in the future, and they say as much in their schedule here. You can see they tease it coming back in the next Journey Guide event. And I don't know if that's going to be possible or not, or I don't know if that's what their intention is, but this is not going to be coming back very often. This is very much a time-limited event, and the fact that at least a quarter of the battles that we're just not going to be able to complete because it's tuned for something we don't have, again, feels bad. And that, I think, is going to be important, is that they take a look at this feedback, and they figure out, okay, well, how can we implement it to make players happy? And I think the easiest way to do that would be to just roll things back, push it back, delay these events so that we have time. Now, of course, that does cause some issues with the upcoming Mace Windu one, where at that point we have less opportunity to get shards, so that can cause some issues as well. there's pros and cons to both of my solutions to this, in that the retroactive tuning, a lot more work. I don't think CG is going to go for that, but we get the same opportunities for the character shards. But if we push things back, well, now we don't have as many opportunities to farm shards. So I don't know, maybe the other option would be just drastically nerf the battles, but I don't know. That's another good option. That would be awesome if they just drastically nerf them to make them more manageable. But at that point, it's kind of trivial, and it kind of gets rid of the challenge. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm afraid they're just not going to do anything, because it feels like these battles are just kind of thrown together and just kind of handed to us. So I don't know. Maybe they're not really invested in these era battles. We'll see how that all pans out. But yeah, we'll see what they do in the future. So I would like to hear from you guys. How has your success been with the era battles? I've seen quite a few comments of what people have done so far with this. I'd like to hear from you guys. What are your all's thoughts? Do you agree or disagree with my suggested changes to the era battles? Let me know down below. Again, if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure that like button, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys next time.